Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely pumped to have you here. Today, I'm going to step into the role of your mentor to help you finally demystify one of the most notorious, but honestly most rewarding challenges in C programming, the Get Next Line project. If you've ever banged your head against the wall trying to manage memory state, or just wondered how systems actually read files under the hood, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to tackle this together, step by step, making the invisible workings of your machine perfectly clear.
And don't sweat it if this project seems a bit overwhelming right now. We'll conquer it by breaking it down into 6 logical sections: the challenge, the soup and spoon, the power of static, the mental algorithm, handling errors and leaks, and finally, mastering multiple descriptors. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The challenge. Incremental reading.
So, here is the big technical hurdle. How exactly do you read a file line by line without losing a single drop of data? Think about it for a second. Your computer doesn't naturally know where a sentence or a line ends. It just sees a massive, continuous block of text. To find a new line character, you have to grab the file in chunks. But what happens if you read a chunk, find your new line, but you've also accidentally scooped up the first half of the next line? If you just throw away that extra data, boom, your file is corrupted. You've lost critical information.
Moving on to Section 2, the soup and spoon, understanding buffers. To really solve this challenge, we need to make abstract memory buffers feel physical. Imagine the file you're trying to read is a giant bowl of soup. Now, you can't just unhinge your jaw and swallow the whole bowl at once, right? Your program would immediately crash from a lack of memory. Instead, you eat it spoon by spoon. In C, your spoon is your buffer size. But here's the catch. What if your spoon scoops up the very end of one sentence and the beginning of another? Those extra letters, the leftovers, they need a safe place to sit and wait until your next bite. That little waiting area, your reserve bowl, is what we're going to call the stash. And your code has to be totally bulletproof. A robust algorithm needs to work flawlessly no matter how big or small your spoon is. Whether your buffer size is just one single byte, the classic 42 bytes, or a massive giant scoop of 10,000 bytes, your logic for managing that stash of leftovers has to remain completely rock solid.
All right, Section 3, the power of static state persistence.
Okay, pay attention, because this is the absolute core of the whole project. Look at this comparison here. A standard variable inside a function basically has total amnesia. Every single time you call that function, the variable gets destroyed and recreated from scratch. It just prints 1, 1, 1. But if you add one magical little keyword, static, everything changes. Now that variable persists in memory. It perfectly remembers its state across multiple function calls, counting 1, 2, 3. Without static, your program has amnesia. With static, it has perfect memory.
So the crucial takeaway here is this specific line of code: static char star stash. By defining your stash as a static string pointer, you guarantee that any leftover characters from your last spoon-sized read will survive unharmed. They will patiently wait right there for the next time the get next line function is called. This is the ultimate secret to preventing data loss when you're doing incremental reading.
Which brings us to Section 4, the mental algorithm, step-by-step logic.
As your mentor, my biggest piece of advice is this: map out the logic in your head before your fingers ever touch the keyboard. Here are the 4 logical steps of the incremental reading algorithm. Step 1. Read a chunk of bytes using your buffer size. Step 2. Take whatever you just read and append it or join it to your static stash. Step 3. Search through that stash. If you spot a new line character, extract everything up to that point. Bam! That is your line. Step 4. Take whatever comes after that new line and save it back into the stash as your new leftovers. And hey, if you don't find a new line in Step 3, you just loop back to Step 1 and scoop up another spoon of soup. It's a beautifully self-sustaining cycle.
Section 5, handling errors and leaks, avoiding pitfalls.
A truly great programmer always anticipates what happens when things go completely sideways. To control our reading loop, we rely on the system read function, and you have to carefully interpret what it gives back to you. If it returns a number greater than 0, great, it's telling you exactly how many bytes you just read. If it returns exactly 0, it means EOF, or end of file. You've hit the bottom of the soup bowl. But if it returns a -1, a critical error just occurred. Your loop must immediately spot this -1 and stop safely. Listen closely, because I really want to emphasize these common mistakes. This is where most beginners stumble. The biggest villain? Memory leaks. If your read function returns an error, or if you hit the end of file and extract that final line, you absolutely must properly free the memory allocated to your stash. If you don't, that memory stays locked up forever in the void. You also have to be incredibly careful not to accidentally overwrite your stash pointer, mishandle the EOF signal, or try to cheat the system by reading the whole file at once instead of incrementally. Precision is everything.
Finally, Section 6, Mastering Multiple Descriptors, the bonus level.
Once you have the basic algorithm purring along, it's time to elevate your skills by managing several files at the exact same time. Instead of just a simple static char star stash, we throw in some brackets, static char star stash 1024. By upgrading your static variable into an array of 1024 strings, your program can suddenly track hundreds of separate file buffers concurrently. You can read a line from file A, grab a line from file B, hop back to file A, and neither stash gets corrupted. It's an incredibly powerful upgrade using literally just a few extra characters of code.
So why does all of this matter? What is the real takeaway from this explainer? Look, the hard work you're putting in here isn't just about passing some school assignment. This incremental reading algorithm, this careful buffer management, it's the literal foundation of professional software engineering. By mastering this, you're actively learning the underlying mechanics of real-time stream processing. You're learning how networking sockets handle live incoming internet traffic. You're learning the basics of building complex, real-world data parsers.
I'll leave you with this final thought. Mastering memory management and data streams is what truly unlocks the raw power of C programming. You've got the blueprint now. You understand the spoon and the soup, the magic of persistent static state, and the exact logical flow. The mystery is totally gone. All that's left is for you to fire up your editor and build it. But before you do, ask yourself this. Now that you know how to read multiple streams of data infinitely and safely, what kind of unstoppable system are you going to build next? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy coding.